So I remember many years ago having an assistant who had type 2 diabetes. And let me tell you why I'm so blessed in the work that I do. Before I even go there, I am so blessed in the work that I do because not only do I get to learn firsthand about these conditions that many of us are challenged with, that many of us have, but I am so blessed because not only do I get to use my talent and I get to use my strength to bless you guys. I get to use my mastery to bless you guys. But I am so thrilled that I also get to bless my team. So the people who work for me and work with me, the individuals that are on our team, they just naturally get to benefit from all of this information. So I get to go out, do all of the hard work of learning the science behind these diseases, learning the science behind nutrition, learning the science behind lifestyle medicine. And then I get to bring it back to you guys. And then I get double blessed because I then get to help my team. So many years ago, one of my assistants, she had type 2 diabetes. She had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Now listen, if you know anything about diabetes, then you know that there's two types of diabetes. There's type 1 and there's type 2. Now, type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune condition, right? So the way we combat type 1 is slightly different because it's an autoimmune condition, which means your pancreas is not making insulin. However, type 2 diabetes, that is not an autoimmune condition. That is more of a lifestyle condition, which means we can combat it with lifestyle. And so many years ago, I was blessed to be able to help my assistant at the time who was battling type 2 diabetes. She took our farm to table plant-based coaching program, which is our 12-week signature program where we teach individuals how to use food as medicine to combat things like type 2 diabetes. And we were able to help Kels put her type 2 diabetes in remission. Shout out to Kels, right? And she worked with me for many years. And I remember that just being her testimony, right? I remember, her sharing her story about what a wonder it was to be exposed and to be working for someone who understood the condition that she was battling on a cellular level and was able to help her. And so I'm so excited to be here with you guys today because I want to teach you what I taught her and what I've taught hundreds of others before you, which is that these conditions, especially type 2 diabetes, we don't have to live with it. We don't have to manage it. We do not have to follow a protocol that means we are giving ourselves insulin and taking medications and metformin and all these other conditions for years. What a blessing it is that we can not only be exposed to this information for free, that hey, doesn't have to be managed, it can be reversed, but then we can also get access to the system where someone is going to hold your hand and bless you with eliminating this condition. Here's a fun fact. So literally millions of people battle either pre-diabetes or diabetes throughout the world, right? And I know for a fact that is reversible. Okay. Now, I know that for a fact because I've helped plenty of people reverse it. But of course, I've been immersed in the science for years, right? And I know that this condition is so prevalent, especially among communities of color, because it's interesting that in our plant-based coaching certification, one of the first things we help our coaches do when I'm helping them build their coaching businesses is they have to select their specialization. And out of all the specialties that a health coach could specialize in, type 2 diabetes is the number one most popular specialization amongst our coaches that come through our certification in the plant protocol. So as people are learning from us, a lot of people get healthy with us, and then they want to go on to be coaches. They want to go on and they say, Lisa, I want to do what you do. I want to speak. I want to teach. I want to coach other people. I want to help people in my community. I want to help people in my church. I want to help people, on my job. I have sorority sisters. I have, fraternity brothers. So we get the men, we get the women, and they want to help people. But the number one specialization that our coaches choose when I'm teaching them how to build a coaching business is type 2 diabetes. This disease is so prevalent, especially among communities of color, and it kills us, and it doesn't have to. We are getting limbs amputated. We are seeing erectile dysfunction. We are seeing kidney failure. We are seeing heart failure, all as a result of this insulin resistance, which leads to type 2 diabetes. And here's what's super interesting in type 2 diabetes. I'm going to tell you guys this because I need you to understand why, by any means necessary, I'm going to do everything I can to stay away from type 2 diabetes. Whatever affects the heart, whatever's bad for the heart is bad for the brain. Okay? Whatever is bad from the heart, whatever's bad for the heart is bad for the brain. And I say that because did you guys know that when you have type 2 diabetes, you have an exponential increase in the chance for dementia and Alzheimer's, right? Now, me personally, if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know how passionate I am about protecting my brain. You know how serious I am about my cognitive functioning, my executive functioning, making sure I have my memory, my recall, just mental clarity. And so when I learned that blood sugar, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes significantly increases your chances of Alzheimer's disease, that's when I knew I would do everything in my power to make sure I have a healthy blood sugar. And I want to help you guys do that too. So today we're going to talk briefly about type 2 diabetes. We're going to talk about insulin resistance. I'm going to teach you some of the things that increases your chances of having type 2 diabetes. For those of you who are battling it, for those of you who love someone who's battling it, I hope you get something out of today. And the number one thing I hope you get out of today, the number one thing out of everything that I'm going to say today, the number one thing that I hope you guys get out of today is that it's possible. It's possible because many of you watching have heard from your family physician, right? You've heard from friends around you that it just runs in your family. Many of you have been taught that this is a disease that you have to manage for years. But I am here to tell you that it is possible to reverse it. So if you don't get anything else out of today, when I go through the science and how we're going to eat differently and how we're going to adjust our lifestyle, the number one thing I want you to hear is that this disease is reversible and that there is something you can do despite what you've been told, despite the things that you've decided to believe, despite what you've seen. But my grandpa died from it, and my grandma died from complications of diabetes, and my aunt and my mom has it. Like it's possible. That's the takeaway. I'm giving you the takeaway up front. Like the takeaway up front. I'm not saving it for later. I'm telling you it's possible. I've done it. I've helped people reverse type 2 diabetes. It's possible. So that's the number one thing before we go any further. Before I teach you a protocol, I need you to get that in your spirit first. So welcome to Monday Morning Keynotes with yours truly, Coach Lisa A. Smith, health and business coach, specializing in transforming your mind before I transform anything else. Listen, per usual, during our Monday morning keynotes, we're always sipping on something just in case edges begin to get snatched and pearls need to be clutched. So let me know what y'all are sipping on. I have my tea today. I have a mint tea mixed with a green tea. Okay, soothing the soul this morning. Tell me what y'all sipping on in the chat. What did y'all bring to Monday morning keynotes today so y'all can come get this health? I'm here in Florida, y'all. But y'all know how it goes. We don't miss a Monday. We don't miss a Monday if we don't have to. And so I wanted to be on, and I'm looking forward to blessing y'all today. I got my tea. What you got? I got my tea. What you got? Let me know what's cooking. What's up, Tamika? What's up, Rhonda? It's good to see everyone. What's up, Key? What's up, Lachey? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Listen, let me know what y'all sipping on in the chat as we get to rocking and rolling. This is, I think, the 6th or 7th installment in our lifestyle disease series. We are currently in the run-up. We are currently in the run-up to our next 30-day vegan, salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge. If you haven't already, click the link that's pinned in the comments so that you can get registered. The challenge is free. And it is our way of blessing you guys and showing you guys, exposing you guys to the power of plants. So the challenge starts in 2 weeks on January 1st. We are in the 2-week countdown. My goodness. So we're in the 2-week countdown to our next 30-day vegan salt, oil, and sugar-free challenge, which is one of the most powerful regimens for reversing type 2 diabetes. This is the system that I've used to help other people reverse type 2 diabetes, bring down their blood pressure, lose weight, reverse high cholesterol, put, autoimmune conditions in remission, put cancer in remission. The protocol is so powerful. We've been doing it for years. I'm looking forward to blessing many more of you. So if you haven't already, click the link that's pinned in the comments. Get registered for the challenge tomorrow, Tuesday, December 16th. Is our final prep class before the challenge start. We have had a prep class in October. We had one in November. Tomorrow, December 16th, will be our final prep class before the challenge begins on December 1st. This challenge is complimentary. All you have to bring is yourself, and I will do the rest. I'm going to shift your mindset. I'm going to tell you what to eat. We got food that can get shipped to your door. We got all the things. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see. Adrian says she's sipping on homemade ginger, cloves, cinnamon, and turmeric. Okay, Adrian, you better murder some cancer cells this morning. Lorene says she's sipping on oolong, lemon, ginger. Okay, and MCT oil. I see it. Healthy fats for the brain. Laura said, I got green and pear tea this morning. Let's go. Cynthia, water and working out this morning. You better get it. That's the best way to start the day. You hear me? Getting the blood circulating, hydrating the body, hydrating the mind. I love it. I love it when y'all be sipping with me. Rhonda says she got coconut water with lime. Okay. Somebody think they better than us. So I got coconut water with lime. Like coconut water needed some help. Coconut water got all the electrolytes. Okay, Rhonda, listen, extra. I love when y'all be extra. Okay, so listen, let's get into it. Real quick, we're going to start from the top. Here's what I need you guys to know. First things first, okay? Type 2 diabetes is a lifestyle disease. Now, let's talk about genetics really quickly before y'all getting y'all feelings, all right? Many of you have been told, many of you have heard, many of you have told other people that this disease runs in your family, okay? Now, I'm not saying you're wrong, but what we're wrong about is what that might imply. So it might be true that people very close to you, right, like parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, grandparents, have type 2 diabetes, have unfortunately succumbed to type 2 diabetes. And did you know the number one cause of death of people with type 2 diabetes is not actually diabetes, it's actually heart disease, right? But there might be a lot of people close to you who have succumbed to this condition, right? And sometimes when we say things like it runs in my family, typically the implication there is that there were some genetics at play that increased your chances of having it, and as a result means you have to manage it for the rest of your life. Many a times when we see somebody we love with a condition like this, we just model what they do, right? So if we saw uncle or grandma or a parent with type 2 diabetes, then a lot of times we just think we need to resort to what they did, which is try and watch my sugar intake, take my medicine, go to my doctor's appointment regularly, just monitor my blood sugar, monitor my numbers, right? But here's what I want you to know. It's possible for it to run in your family, meaning many people close to you in your immediate family had it. That's true. However, that does not imply, number one, that you're going to have it too. And that certainly does not imply that you have to manage it for years and there's nothing you can do about it once you get it. Okay? So genetics plays a role, but it plays less than 10% role, y'all. Now, a lot of people are really shocked when I teach this part because a lot of people believe that genetics really is the deciding factor in our health fate, and it's not. Genetics does not play the biggest role in whether or not you're going to be healthy. It plays a role, not the biggest role. Matter of fact, it plays one of the smallest roles, right? So the very first thing we need to have a better understanding on how to approach this condition, if we or somebody we love get it, is we have to stop saying stuff like it runs in my family or it runs in their family, and letting us make an assumption or draw a conclusion from that statement, which says there's nothing we can do about it. It's an assumption there that our genetics are deciding our fate. And once we are diagnosed with a condition, we just have to be regimented with medicine and treatment. No, not true. So if it runs in your family and you don't have it, it doesn't mean you're going to get it. bless it. And number two, if it runs in your family and you do have it, it doesn't mean that you're stuck with it. Okay. So I want to get the genetics argument out of the way. What we love to say here inside the plant protocol about genetics is your genes load the gun, but your diet and lifestyles pulls the trigger. Your gene loads the gun, but your diet and lifestyle pulls the trigger, which means yes, you can definitely have an increased risk of something, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're guaranteed to get it, which means your genes should inform your decision making. That means if my grandparents had type 2 diabetes, that tells me there are precautions I need to take to ensure I don't get it. It doesn't mean I should just be waiting around for it. Everybody got that? Okay? If somebody close to me suffer from depression, or if somebody close to me suffer from alcoholism, that doesn't mean I'm guaranteed to have it. That means there's precautions I should take to ensure I don't get it. I will not sit around and wait around for it. We have to be very careful with saying stuff like this runs in my family as if we're guaranteed to be overweight, as if we're guaranteed to have breast cancer, as if we're guaranteed to suffer from depression or anxiety or bipolar, as if we're guaranteed to have type 2 diabetes. Genetics is not a guarantee. Genetics is data. It's data that we use to make future decisions. It's how people study years and years of the stock market to try and make informed decisions about the future. There's nothing they can study in the past that's going to guarantee what the stock market is going to do in the future. There's nothing in your genetic code that you can study in the past that's going to guarantee how you're going to end up in the future. But the data does help to help you make better decisions. Somebody put decisions in the chat before I keep going, because if y'all come in this class and if y'all come in this challenge one more time telling me it runs in your family as if there's nothing else we can do about it, I'm gonna refer you back to this here episode at this here timestamp. So put decisions in the chat. My genes informs my decisions. They are not my fate. Okay? Because we have to stop claiming this disease as if we never had a choice, as if we never had an option. Okay? We have to stop. All right, so that's first things first. Genetics load the gun, but my diet and lifestyle pulls the trigger. Genetics loads the gun, but my diet and lifestyle makes the decisions. Like, how you gonna tell me it runs in your family? Meanwhile, you've been in a drive-through every day since '92. Huh? How you gonna tell me it runs in your family, but you can't have one stressful moment without having to drink? Huh? How you gonna tell me it runs in your family, but you swear up and down you ain't got time to exercise and everybody else's health comes before yours? Huh? Now, one and one ain't adding up. Now, if you had the perfect picture of health and you was doing everything you was supposed to do, and then you got type 2 diabetes, I might be willing to hear you out. But I'm telling you, you telling me every time somebody make a fresh pound cake, you just got to have one. You telling me every time you see them wings come down your timeline, you just got to order some. But the reason you got type 2 diabetes is because it ran in your family. Let me get out my bag. Okay. Let's get into it. Insulin resistance. What is it and why does it happen? Okay, so first of all, I told you guys earlier that type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes were two different things, right? Type 1 is an autoimmune condition, right? So that means that the pancreas is not making insulin. And that's a different challenge, right? Because insulin is what's responsible for getting the sugar out of our blood into our muscle and liver cells. All right. So why is insulin resistance the precursor to type 2 diabetes, right? Okay. So insulin resistance is the indicator. Remember, y'all, a couple weeks ago when I was talking about high blood pressure and we was talking about red flags? Okay, so with type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance is what we call a red flag. Right? That means the relationship with you and your body is starting to go awry. You know how we look for red flags in our romantic relationships? Like, ooh, red flag. I don't know if I want to deal with that. Ooh, red flag. I don't know if that's acceptable, right? Well, insulin resistance is the red flag that shows up before the full-blown diagnosis, right? And so when we have insulin resistance, that means, right, we are eating food. Some of it is converting into sugar, and our pancreas is producing insulin, but unfortunately, our cells are resistant to the insulin. The insulin is supposed to escort like a hot date. The insulin is supposed to escort the sugar out of our blood into our muscle and liver cells so that it can make energy for us, right? But a long term, let's see, I'll be trying to simplify this for y'all. Let's just say a long span of time with insulin resistance means that after a while, our body is not responding to the insulin that our pancreas is releasing, right? So we're supposed to eat, you might eat some fruit, you might eat a sandwich, you might eat a salad, right? And our body wants to use that food for fuel, right? And that process is supposed to look like we eat, right? Some of that food turns into sugar, and the sugar is in our blood and it's ready to go into our cells so it can make ATP, it can make energy for us. But when we are experiencing insulin resistance, that means the sugar is staying in our blood and not getting into our muscle and liver cells. Our hot date done stood us up. The pancreas is making insulin, but our cells are not responding to the insulin. And this slowly over time turns into insulin resistance. And then the longer we have insulin resistance and the sugar continues to build up in our blood, that then turns into pre-diabetes. And then the longer we ignore that process and we don't make any significant lifestyle adjustments, that pre-diabetes turns into full-blown type 2 diabetes. And then as we continue to live with type 2 diabetes, that can begin to escalate and it can begin to impact our kidneys. It can begin to impact our heart. It can begin to impact our brain. And now we have an increased chance of dementia and Alzheimer's because did you guys know that Alzheimer's was considered diabetes 3 because that's how impactful sugar is on the brain. So the complications don't stop when you get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Did you know you can get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and things can continue to escalate? This is what's called uncontrolled diabetes, right? So we so honorary, right? We think our genes, this is just our fate. So we get the red flags, right? We get the yellow flag with insulin resistance, then we get the red flag with pre-diabetes, and then it's blaring red when we got full-blown type 2 diabetes, but we still just think, oh, I can't do much about it, or food is too good. Fried chicken is too good. Fried fish is just too good. I gotta have my French fries. I gotta have my drink after a crazy day. I gotta have my dessert on my birthday, on the weekend. I can't not have steak night and pizza night with my family every Friday. It's tradition. I can't go a Thanksgiving without mac and cheese and something smothered in gravy and something with a bunch of fat on it. I gotta have my steak. I gotta have my burger. And so because we gotta have and because we can't live without, the type 2 diabetes then escalates. It escalates. And then it escalates to, now we're looking at numbness and tingling and neuropathy. We can't feel our feet anymore. Now we're being threatened with amputation. Now we're running the risk of kidney failure. Now we're starting to lose our memory and our recall, and we're attributing it to age, not realizing it's just all the sugar that's in our blood, right? So this thing can escalate. This thing can escalate. So one of the main drivers. Now here's the thing that I need everybody to understand, and this is the part. This is the part that's going to change the game for a lot of you, because a lot of you guys believe that type 2 diabetes is a sugar problem. Okay. Raise your hand just wherever you are. Be like me. Wherever you are, if you've always thought that soon as somebody gets diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, they just got to stop eating sugar. They got to just watch their carbs. They can't have the smoothies with the pineapple and the banana in it. How many of you guys have always thought that it was a sugar issue? Just put a hand emoji in the comments. If you like, yeah, type 2 diabetes means no sugar. Stay away from the candy. Stay away from the cake. Stay away from the cookies. Stay away from the drinks. Stay away from the cola, right? But here's the part that's about to blow your mind. You're right that eating more sugar absolutely is going to raise your blood sugar. But where you're wrong is that sugar is not the cause of type 2 diabetes. The main driver of insulin resistance is fat. The main driver of type 2 diabetes is fat. So that's excess body fat and the fat that we consume. Because don't get me wrong, you can have someone who's not overweight and they can still have type 2 diabetes. So I am not saying that type 2 diabetes only happens to people who are overweight. That's not true. Okay? You can be type 2 diabetic at any size. However, 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 you have to understand that restricting your sugar intake just slows down the buildup of sugar in your blood, but it doesn't reverse. It doesn't reverse. It doesn't aid in reversing type 2 diabetes. The thing that causes the insulin resistance in the first place is the fat that's not letting the sugar into our muscle and liver cells. So one of the best illustrations of this is thinking of a door with a lock. There's a key that goes inside the lock to open up the door, right? So here's what's supposed to happen. So your sugar is on this side of the door, right? It wants to get on the other side of the door, which is going to be your muscle and liver cells. So it's on your sugar is on the outside. It's outside the club and it's trying to get in. Okay. But there's a lock. There's a lock. Now, the key that unlocks the door so sugar can get on in the club, okay, is insulin. Okay. So insulin is the key that unlocks the door. But have you ever tried to stick a key in a door, but there was some gumminess, some muck inside of the key hole, and so the key can't get in? Like, so insulin is trying to unlock the door for sugar to get on the other side, right? But there's something that's blocking the key from getting into the slot. In this case, that is fat. So a lot of you guys are trying to stop the sugar from piling up on this side of the door, right? And so you're like, I can't have that candy. I can't have that cake. I can't have that bread. I can't have that rice. I can't have that potatoes. I can't have that pasta. And I get it. You like, the line getting long out here. It's too much sugar on this side of the door, right? We got to stop. The line is getting too long. Y'all blocking the street. Y'all know how the clubs be. Think of the hypest club in your neighborhood back in the day, right? They like, can you move over? You blocking the sidewalk. Get out the street. We know this the hypest club in town right now. Sugar is outside the club like, let me in. Okay? Let me in, right? But the person with the key, insulin, is like, I'm trying to let you in, but all of this fat is in the way. Think of the fat now. Don't get mad at me. Y'all notice how all the bouncers used to look. The fat is the bouncer, right? One the bouncer a big dude anyway. Like, don't get mad at me. All the bouncers outside my clubs in Detroit was overweight. Okay, so the bouncer with his fat behind won't let sugar in the club. And that is what's happening in your body. You think, okay, I need to stop eating starch. That ain't the problem. The problem is there's fat in front of the door, so insulin can't unlock it, so sugar can flood the club. Right? This might be the hoodest analogy of type 2 diabetes I've ever given, and I'm proud of it. I love us, okay? But tell me y'all ain't getting it, all right? So that's what I need you guys to understand. Lisa, coach, what are you saying? I'm saying carbs ain't your problem, okay? Candy ain't your problem. Soda ain't your problem. I'm not giving you permission to eat that stuff. You absolutely should not be putting that foolishness in your body, okay? What I'm saying is, if you want to reverse this condition, it's not about stopping the sugar from piling up outside the club. It's all about getting the fat, the bouncer big self, out from in front of the door. So that means, so what are you saying from a dietary standpoint, coach? I'm saying it is the saturated fat and cholesterol that you eat from animal products. It is the saturated fat and cholesterol you eat from dairy products. It is the saturated fat and cholesterol you get from the butter, from the steak with all the marbling that you love, from the burger with all the fat that squeezes out into the pan, from the bacon grease. That's the cause of type 2 diabetes. The fat is literally causing the insulin resistance. You're trying to stop the buildup of the sugar, but that's not going to reverse the condition. So what happens is we need to lose weight physically if we're overweight. That begins to reverse insulin resistance. But also from a dietary perspective, boys and girls, we have to stop eating the saturated fat and the cholesterol. The number one source of saturated fat in the standard American diet, guys, is dairy. The number one source of saturated fat in the standard American diet is dairy. So if we get rid of meat and all of its byproducts, dairy, that's when we have the best chance at reversing type 2 diabetes and to stop just managing it for years. So here's how we're going to sum it up. If you want to manage this condition, because you like, coach, I hear you, but I can't let sugar go. Like I can't. I mean, I can't let chicken go. I can't let bacon go. Like I gotta have me a burger at least once. I gotta at least have me a steak, coach. Cheese? Have you had cheese? Like, coach, I need sour cream on my taco. Like, I can't go to Chipotle and not get the queso and the sour cream. Like, come on, coach, give me something. All right, no problem. I don't even want to argue with you. I'm just here to tell you the science. If you're one of those I can't live without people, if you're one of those I have to have my people, like if you're one of those like I gotta have my creamer and my pumps or whatever inside of my coffee, like I can't live without it. Like if you're one of those people who like I'm not giving up ice cream, I don't care what you say. Like if you're one of those people, then I'm telling you, management is still an option for you. You can very much still manage your diabetes that just by doing what you're doing, which is trying to be conscious of your sugar intake. So if you're like, I only treat myself to my sweet treat once every 2 weeks or once on the holidays or whatever, management is still an option. And God bless you. I want you to stay alive. But if you're one of those people who are like, nope, now that I know I can reverse it, I want to give it my best effort. Then I'm telling you, we have to remove the fat for a season or two. We have to remove the animal fat, remove the fat from the dairy, and physically lose the weight because the visceral fat that's in our body around our organs aids in insulin resistance. So if we lose body fat and we stop eating all the fat, all of the butter, all of the chicken, all of the fish, all of the fat and cholesterol that comes in the shellfish that you love so much, I'm telling you right now, if you get that out of your diet, if you give me a shot at it, like give me a shot at it for about 3 months with you, I promise you we will be on our way to reversal. This is only for people who want to revert. This is only the protocol for people who are interested in reversal. If you still want to manage it because food has a bigger hold over you than you have over it. That is an option 100%, and I'm not here to judge. But my challenge has been that many of us don't even know this is an option. Many of you have been taught that sugar is the problem. It's not. It's fat. Okay. Now, sugar can build up. You're right. It raises blood sugar. But what I'm saying, if you want to reverse type 2 diabetes, you got to get the fat bouncer out the way. The fat bouncer is blocking. We can't get the insulin to unlock the door to the club because the fat bouncer is in the way. Move the fat out of the way, and the sugar can get through the door and out of your doggone bloodstream. And let me repeat what I said earlier. And I'm going to tell you a couple other things that cause insulin resistance other than diet, because I've been focusing on diet. But let me repeat what I said earlier first, just in case some people came on late and missed this. I think one of the biggest misunderstandings about this deadly disease is that most people die from it. They don't. Most people actually don't die from type 2 diabetes. They actually die from heart disease. They actually die from, listen, and you've all heard this phraseology and this terminology. Most people actually die from the complications of type 2 diabetes. Why is that important? Because when you deal with insulin resistance for so long, you're taking these medications and you're putting all of this stuff in your body to try and manage this disease, it begins to damage your kidneys. It begins to damage your blood vessels. It begins to deteriorate your mind. And now we got dementia. It begins to cause neuropathy and nerve damage. Most people don't die from it. They die from something else going wrong while they try to manage it for 20 years. So I need you guys to understand how dangerous this is. I need you guys to understand how dangerous this is. Now let's talk about other things that causes insulin resistance outside of diet. The biggest contributor to diabetes type 2 is going to be diet, lifestyle, hands down. It's going to be the absence of exercise in the presence of an unhealthy diet. Okay, but there's some other things that can also cause insulin resistance. And I think one of the foremost, and this is a huge one because we talk a lot about this in Clarity, in our Clarity lab, but sleep deprivation, fatigue, being tired. Most people don't understand what big of a role being sleep deprived plays in insulin resistance. So let me tell you something that I learned many years ago, and I was just like, yo, this is insane. Okay. Now, many of you guys have heard that being tired behind the wheel is just as dangerous as being intoxicated. Have you guys heard that? Right. So if you drive intoxicated, right, you know that significantly increases the chances of an accident or something terrible happening. But did you guys also know that if you are trying to function every day with sleep deprivation, that also increases your chances of insulin resistance? So that means, let's say you get inadequate amounts of sleep or rest last night. Today, if you were to monitor your blood sugar, it's going to be elevated. Now, one day, no big deal. Multiple days in a row of sleep deprivation, multiple days in a row of overextending yourself and doing too much, multiple days in a row taking on more than what you truly have the capacity for, and so you don't rest properly, you don't sleep properly, or multiple years of being unhealed from something, and so you're chronically stressed, and so you are dealing with like mental and emotional imbalance. And so that means you now have some type of sleep disorder, or you might have, insomnia, or you might have some type of sleep issue, sleep apnea. You might have something. Did you know that that will increase your blood sugar and cause insulin resistance? Just being sleep deprived chronically, right? So I'm not talking about 1 or 2 days. Like, it's okay, right? That happens to us. We sometimes just get busy, get overwhelmed, or traveling like me, time zone changes, things happen. But I mean, many of you are dealing with chronic stress, and you know how much I teach on chronic stress. Many of you are dealing with chronic fatigue because you still haven't been honest about what your capacity is. And so you're lying to people, you're people pleasing, you're a yes man. And so you always tired, you always got too much to do than you can handle. And you're always taking on too much because maybe your value is tied to being needed, or whatever our issue is, that we will not honor our true capacity. So now you're sleep deprived, and now your blood sugar is erratic every single day. And you look up and you're getting diagnosed for something, and you're supposed to be the caregiver of the family. You're the one supposed to be taking care of everybody else. But because you're chronically fatigued and sleep deprived, now your blood sugar is erratic, and now you're at serious risk of having full-blown type 2 diabetes, right? And I'm sick of us panicking by the time we get to the red flag, y'all. I'm sick of us panicking by the time the doctor tells us we're pre-diabetic. Like, there was something you could, like, you knew you were dishonoring your capacity months ago. You knew you were dishonoring your boundaries years ago, but you let people talk you into eating that foolishness because you didn't know how to say no. You let people make you go along to get along because you didn't want to be the odd one who was prioritizing their health. So you just kept eating that mess. You kept drinking that mess. You kept being there for others more than you were for yourself. And now you look up, red flag, red flag, red flag, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, right? All of this stuff, physical inactivity, right? Because we are not being honest about what it truly takes to be optimal. Or we're letting other people's beliefs and demands of us take precedence. Okay? So listen, sleep deprivation, chronic fatigue can also lead to type 2 diabetes. Something else that leads to type 2 diabetes that's outside of diet and exercise is going to be medications. Medications can cause type 2 diabetes. Things like steroids. It's crazy. You can literally be on some drugs for something that actually increases significantly your chance of type 2 diabetes. HIV drugs increases your chances of type 2 diabetes. So there's nothing we can do more for ourselves than optimizing our health when we have the chance. Because by the time you getting treated for something else, you are as now also at risk for something else. And you guys know this, but for some reason, you act like you can't live without this junk. You act like you allergic to the word no. You act like you can't stop everything you're doing because everything's going to fall apart. You don't need help. You need faith, because your lack of faith is going to end up with a diagnosis. Stop what you are doing. Stop it. It's too much. It's too much. Get out the drive-thrus. Get out the cat. Stop acting like you can't walk down the chip aisle without taking something home. Why does this stuff have so much power over us? Stop acting like you can't stop. You can. It's killing you slowly. And also stop thinking that management is the only resort. I can't even believe we are willing to take our insulin and our medications and wear our little patches on such a regimented schedule. But when I tell you to drink water, 25 ounces of water within the first 30 minutes of waking every day and have at least 2 cups of plants and a handful of berries, that's just a regimen you can't never remember to do. But as soon as you got to shoot yourself up with something, all of a sudden you have all of the discipline and the structure in the world. Now, I didn't come on here today to go off on y'all, but I'm upset because Black people are dying prematurely from stuff that is reversible and preventable. We are allowing our grandparents to leave here early. We are allowing our aunts and uncles to leave here early. And some of you guys listening, you are just enablers. You are feeding this to the people. You going out and get it for them. Well, they gotta have their soda. You know they get upset if they don't have their cookie and their cake. I'm about to go. Y'all register for the challenge? I'm about to go. I'm about to go because I'm about to go. I'm upset. I'm upset. Like real people dying. Real people around here on canes. Real people overweight and just gotta have the chicken. Just gotta have the french fry. Just gotta have the fried food. Every time, every day. You can't go 3 months to save your life. You mean to tell me this stuff got so much a hold on you? You so weak and powerless when it comes to that stuff. You so weak and powerless around alcohol. You so weak and powerless around cake. You so weak and powerless around anything that's deep fried. You just can't have a taco without cheese. Meanwhile, your blood sugar off the charts. I done told you 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. I done lost my voice telling y'all. I yell at y'all from the stage. I yell at y'all from the seat. I done said it nicely before. I done made reels like I promise you, you can do this. I believe in you. I don't know whether to be gentle. I don't know whether to use tough parenting. I don't know what to do anymore. Why are we continuously dying from something that has been reversible for years and we have proof for? You keep overextending yourself. You keep saying yes to everybody. You're people pleasing because you want to be liked, and now you're sick. Just register for the challenge and do your best. I hope y'all show up. Listen, tomorrow's the last prep class. Just register for the challenge. Y'all come. Yo, we gonna do it or we ain't. Cause I ain't doing this no more. I'm too upset. I didn't even know I was gonna get this mad. But I just can't even believe it. It's all we gotta do. All we have to do is stop eating the saturated fat. All we have to do is lose weight. And you know what? I'm not about to keep acting like losing weight is hard. I ain't about to say, I know it's not that easy. It is. It's not that hard. Me and thousands and millions of other people have lost the weight and kept. I done kept off 60 plus pounds. It's possible. I've been a possibility model for y'all for over a decade. It's possible. Some of y'all still struggling with the same 5 to 10 pounds because you just can't go to the gas station without getting a snack. Because you just have to get up early because my kids need me, my husband needs me, the job needs me. No, you need you. You need you. You need you. Your community needs you. God done gave you an assignment. Your assignment been overdue. You was been supposed to start the doggone non. You was been supposed to write the book. You was been supposed to start the podcast. But you so overweight, you can't stand the sight of yourself. You can't stand to look at yourself on camera. You can't stand to hear your voice on the mic. You so unhappy with yourself. Your confidence so low. You don't have no courage for nothing, and you still ain't willing to make a radical change. You got to go have a drink to think about it. What more red flags do y'all need? How many more red flags will it take? Put that question in the chat. And then go register for the challenge. How many more red flags will it take? How many? And then by the doctor telling you that you about to put you on medications, you mad at the doctor. How you mad at them? You the one escalated the situation. The challenge started in 2 weeks. LisaAngelSmith.com/challenge. We start on January 1st. We go on January 1st to January 31st. We're going to teach you how to remove animal products from your diet to reverse type 2 diabetes. We're going to teach you how to remove animal products and salt, oil, and sugar so you can lose weight. We're going to give you mental clarity so you can make better decisions. Now, my job is to give you the protocol, okay? My team's job is to support you through the execution of the protocol, okay? My job is to tell you what you need to believe because you keep believing that it's just genetics. And the biggest issue is that you're surrounded by enablers. Soon as you want to stop eating chicken and cheese, they want to fly in and bring their opinion But as soon as you want to stop eating hot and ready's and potato chips, ain't nobody got nothing to say. And so the issue is you need to be in an ecosystem of people who are going to rally you on when you want to give up the stuff that's killing you. You need to be in an ecosystem of people who are deciding to do it with you so you don't look weird when you do it. So if you want to be in an ecosystem of literally hundreds, I think we got over 700 people registered so far. We start in 2 weeks. If you want a shot at reversing type 2 diabetes, I'm going to teach you the exact same protocol that I used for Kelly, my assistant, many years ago when we helped her reverse it, and many people that's come behind her. There's a system, there's a protocol, there's science out here. I'm not the only person that teaches this. There's a host of doctors that teaches this over and over again. Type 2 diabetes is reversible. All you got to do is stop eating fat. All you got to do is lose the weight. I'm telling you what it is. You thought it was a sugar issue. It's not. It's real simple. This ain't hidden science. You ain't gotta dig deep to find proof of this. Like it's too available. It's probably a problem. Okay. Now I don't work myself up in a tizzy, so I'm about to end this right now. Because I get upset. Because I live my life by something called radical obedience, right? Which is doing what God called you to do despite the presence of fear and uncertainty. And I'm writing a book on radical obedience right now. But the prerequisite to radical obedience, the prerequisite to turning in your assignment to God, is you got to be healthy enough to do it. For many of you, the reason your assignment is overdue is because you're sick all the time. You're mentally sick, you're emotionally sick, and you're physically sick. So it's not that you don't want to execute. It's not that you don't want to give God a return on his investment in you. It's that you can't. You're literally too tired. You literally have inflammation throughout your body. You literally have nerve damage or neuropathy. You literally are out of breath from walking down the hallway. You literally have food addiction. And therefore, you're disobedient. There's an assignment that's been calling you that you haven't been healthy enough to execute on. And it's sad. It's sad. And for those of you who think I do this work because I care about diabetes, you're wrong. For those of you who think I do this work because I even care about people being vegan, you're wrong. It's so crazy. My mission ain't got nothing to do with veganism. My mission has nothing to do with sugar. My mission has nothing to do with food. My mission has nothing to do with alcohol. My mission, if you haven't been here long enough to understand, is to help as many people as possible to live a life of radical obedience. If we all just took our gift that we've been blessed with and re-gifted it to help make the world a better place than what we found it, we will all live a more fulfilling life. Health is a vehicle for me. It's not a destination. I don't care whether or not y'all go the rest of y'all life touching chicken and cheese and bacon again or not. I really don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It's so crazy. Y'all run into me. Y'all think I care about what y'all eating. I care about your assignment. Is doing it your way working for you? Do you feel your best when you wake up every day? Because I just need your mind to be clear. I need your creativity to be flowing. I need when God give you a divine download, you can turn on the camera or the mic and give it to us. That's what I care about. But y'all assignments are collecting dust because y'all sick all the time because y'all can't stop eating foolishness. Your assignment should not be collecting dust because you're too overweight, because you don't have enough energy after your 9 to 5 to work on your 5 to 9. What? All because they came out with a new flavor of chicken wings? Are you kidding me? How many more Christmases and Thanksgivings got to go by for you to be reminded of how much mac and cheese? You got diabetes this Christmas. You can't eat that. Why you think you got to have it every year? But it's the holidays, but you sick. Let me get this straight. You done enjoyed 50 Christmases of eating that foolishness. You can't miss year 51 just to get better. Let me get this straight. You done enjoy 50 New Year's Eves with that alcohol and all that junk. You can't. The 51st New Year's Eve can't be alcohol free. It's not. Why? You just have to have every time. Let me get this straight. If you want to see 50 more New Year's, if you want 50 more Christmases, maybe we make some different choices this year. How about that? All right. Let me tell you something. Get up to the front row. Kiwi, you got the link to the VIP? Some of them need to be in the front row. Let me grab it. Hold on. So our challenge is free, but you had an option to move up to the front row. When you upgrade to VIP, you're going to get this last prep class that me and John Lewis are doing tomorrow. Tomorrow in our final prep class. If you need help, like on a closer, if you need more proximity to me, need more proximity to the team, need more proximity to Kiwi, need proximity to John, Badass Vegan, then you need to be in our final prep class tomorrow. I need you guys to go upgrade to VIP. If you have spent more than $97 on junk food in the past 2 weeks, I dare you to spend another $97 on reversing diabetes. I dare you. If you spent more than $97 on alcohol and junk food in the past 2 weeks, I dare you to spend $97 to come learn something and let us hold your hand through the high blood pressure, the obesity, the low self-esteem. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you to go to the VIP page and spend $97 on yourself getting better versus at buying another red flag. Every time you swipe at the takeout spot, every time you swipe at the liquor store, right? Every time you swipe for some entertainment, right? Like you don't even hesitate. Like you're like, yep. I'm willing to take a risk on inflammation this week because this smelled too good. This looked too good. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you to spend $97 on health and wellness. I dare you to spend $97 to get into the front row. I dare you. So there's the link. Kiwi put it in the chat. I put it in the chat. If you spend more than $97 in the last week or two on some takeout, on some food, on some alcohol, on some entertainment where you're just being sedentary, just sitting there, not moving a muscle, not burning their calorie, I dare you to spend it on learning a protocol that's going to put all of that damage you just did into remission. I dare you. That's all I'm going to say. It's the best we can do. All I can do is make the offer. It's make the offer. It's make the offer. And I'm going to end with a question. If anybody has taken our challenge before in the front row as a VIP, tell me, was it worth $97? Because I don't think it was. But tell me, was it worth at least $97? Because I think it was worth way more. I don't think it was worth 97. I think it was worth way more. Can I get some current and some former VIPers in our challenge who have been in the front row? And you just tell me, just getting Q&A in the VIP room every Wednesday and Saturday for the entire month, where you get private VIP with me and my team. Just tell me, was that worth you spending the same amount on 2 cakes from Sam's Club? I'm just trying to see. I'm just trying to see. Huh? Thank you, Tamika. Thank you, Doreen. Thank you. I'm telling you right now, we don't do this because like you're not in business 10 years because you're trying to scam somebody. Okay? It just don't work like that. Like I don't get this angry every week. I don't get this angry every week just because I'm trying to squeeze $97 out of somebody. Trust me, if I was gonna scam, I'll add 3 more zeros on there. All right, I'm one of them scammers that's gonna go for the big bucks if I'm a scam. Right, I'm not about to try and penny pinch on a scam. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, you don't do this work for a whole decade if you don't give a damn. You don't. But I got a team to pay. Okay, and we got systems we got to keep running. So y'all gonna pay for the front row, because just like you invested, you didn't question them people when you was ordering that pan of wings and that fried fish, that cheesecake and that cola, and you ain't care about the upcharge for extra cheese. You ain't care about the upcharge for double meat at Chipotle. So you'll go ahead and invest in your health. We sick and tired and sick. Okay? Yeah, you go ahead. You go. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Wanda. Worth way more. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. And I love y'all, but I want y'all to do better. I do. I want y'all to do better. So I expect to see many of you guys in the front row. Go tap your bestie. Go tap your brother. Go tap your uncle. Go tap your dad. Me and John gonna be on tomorrow night. It's the final prep class, Tuesday, December 16th. It's the final prep class before our challenge starts on January 1st. Bring the men in your life who are stubborn. Let John talk to him. If you sick of talking to him, just be like, babe, I want you to just watch this with me. Just watch this with me. Let date night be a health class this week, right? Y'all ain't got to eat potato chips and popcorn and drink soda and alcohol together. Date night can be a class where y'all learning about something to better y'all relationship. So y'all can be here. Y'all hold hands in front of the Zoom. Hold hands in the Zoom. Cuddle up real good. Get y'all a blankie and come let me and John yell at y'all tomorrow night. Just about 90 minutes. Yeah, let that be date night this week. Yeah, bring them with you. Bring them with you. Date night gonna look different this week. Yeah, yeah. Nope. You can put them ribeyes back in the freezer. Don't put that on the grill. We ain't gonna clog our arteries for this date night. We're gonna try something different. Let's see if we can let our arteries dilate this week. You know what I'm saying? Get fancy, if you will. I'm trying to have a stable blood sugar for this date night. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop being silly and get up out of here. Y'all done upset me. Now I gotta make myself laugh. Thank you, Lorraine. She said it was worth way more than $97. Can't put a price on mental clarity, energy, and overall health. Thank you. Thank you. Cynthia said, healthy date night. I love it. Yes. Yeah, hold hands, walk down the street, put your earbuds in, and just listen to me teach. That's it. That it ain't all got to look the same. I know y'all been doing that for 20 years. It'll still be there on year 22. Year 21, let's try something different. Okay? Let's go. I love y'all. I'm getting out of here. Okay? I'm going to go finish enjoying Florida. Listen, I hope to see many of you guys in the front row. Tomorrow's prep classes for VIP only. The first two were for general admission. So October and November was our general admission prep classes. Tomorrow is VIP only, VIP only. So we're really in the run up, the final 2 weeks before this challenge starts, y'all. And we're going crazy. Me and John, we're going to be prepping y'all tomorrow. We have a whole app that you can download. The challenge can be right in your pocket. Shout out to our app. We have a whole portal for our VIPs. We have a portal for general admission. This is your opportunity, okay? Listen, next Monday is going to be hype, y'all. I'm going to be joined next Monday by the one and only Coach Carmel. I'm going to be joined next Monday by my team, by Coach Milan. I'm going to see if Coach Tiff can hop on with us. And so a part of my team is going to come on next week, and we're going to be live together next Monday. What is that, like the 22nd? I think it's like the 22nd. So next Monday, December 22nd, we'll be on myself, Coach Carmel, Coach Milan, and we'll continue with this lifestyle disease series. They're going to help me stay even keeled because I get too passionate when I talk about this. So I'll have some backup next week to chime in when I start getting excited and want to yell at y'all. I love y'all. Until next week, until tomorrow, I'll see those of you guys who are bold enough to invest in your health. I'll see you tomorrow, December 16th, for our final prep class. I think it starts at 6 p.m. EST. Our final prep class before the challenge. For anyone who can't make it, if you're VIP, the replay will be housed in your VIP portal. Okay. Next week, clearly emotional support team ain't working for me no more. I literally need emotional support team. Okay. The tea done cooled off. So I done snatched my own edges this morning. Child, I can't wait to listen back to this. I'm gonna be like, Lisa, why? Why do you get so upset? I be listening back to my like, Lord, Lisa, calm down. Why are you yelling at these people? Because they need to know. Then I get right back in my feelings because they needed it. It's crazy. I'm the one emotionally imbalanced. Okay, but I love you guys. I will see you next week. Peace out, guys. This is the way to end it, to make it seem like everything went good. Bye, y'all.